Hello everybody, I know I normally do a funny intro, but there's simply no time for that today. Alright, we have so much to learn about the Canon XF605. Let's get into it. So let's look at a few things on the camera itself, right? Hopefully the person before you closed this as to not get any dust inside. But to open it, it's just this little thing right here, and then the camera opens, right? For the viewfinder, going from the top, I'm going to lift this up like that, and I'm going to turn it towards me so that I can see, right? Currently, I already have it on, but the power button is right here. So I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn it back on, and then the viewfinder will come up shortly. I can also use this viewfinder if I choose. I don't want to. Sometimes my eyes, when I have to go like that for too long, they hurt. Okay, so when you turn the camera on, it's gonna look like this. A bunch of information on the screen. What we're gonna wanna do first is on the top of the camera, there's a menu button. We're gonna press that. We're gonna go over to this third one and hit Initialize Media. I have my SD card in the slot A. I'm gonna hit Initialize and then OK. It's going to do its magic. Make sure that you have everything off the SD card that you want off the SD card, because once you initialize it, boom, it's gone, right? So it's complete, so I'm now OK to record. But I want to look at my other settings first, right? So looking at my other settings on the same page, I want to look at my resolution. So I currently have it set to 1920 by 1080 or HD, right? If I go up one to this 3840 by 2160, that is 4K. A lot of the things we do, at least in the studio, is based in this 1920 by 1080, but if you feel fancy, you can go to 4K. Going down the frame rate, a lot of the things we do in the studio is based around this 29.97 or like 30 frames per second. If you want to go up to 60 frames a second, that is fine. Knowledge that it will take up more file size. All right, so the next thing we want to look at is the audio settings. That's that fourth tab that looks like a music note. So we're going to hit the audio input selection. Currently, I'm set on the built-in microphone, right? So I can change it to be the input terminals. I don't have anything currently plugged in, which is why you're not getting any levels, but I can plug in a wireless mic, a shotgun mic, or any sort of XLR input that you want. Please, if whatever primary camera you have, please use a wireless mic or a shotgun mic. The built-in mic should only really be used if you're using multiple cameras and you're wanting to sync up the audio. When you look on the side of the camera, there's a lot of things happen. Oh my gosh, right? On the right is our audio things. We can adjust the levels from there. That's also where our SD card slot is. You can have two SD cards. We also have the choice of auto white balance being on or off. I prefer to keep it off. I like more control. There's also a zoom. This is where it says ring versus rocker. There's a zoom button on top of the camera, but there's also, the zoom on the physical lens. Some other important things to note. I have iris as manual so that I can control, the amount of light coming in. Currently, I have the focus to auto, mainly because I film by myself and it's hard to go back and forth to fix the focus. Back of the camera looks like this. Wow! If you press that check button on the battery, you can see how much battery life you have. You can also see it on the viewfinder. Up at the top is some more mic controls. You can change it depending on what kind of mic that you have plugged in. And then on the side are those XLR inputs. So hopefully you have a basic understanding of this camera now. If there's anything you want me to go more in depth on, please let me know. This has been Just In Case, Just Ask Jace. And as they say in the business, bam, bam, thank you, Cam. Bruh. I'll see you next time.